Drivetime Radio with New York Vinnie.
On this week's edition of
Yo, Vinnie, what are you driving this week?
Remember, just plug in. I'm ready.
Yeah, no laying down on the job here. Very good Saturday morning to you. It's Drive Time Radio. I'm New York Vinnie. Welcome to another edition. Did you like that? Put together a little show open. I've been meaning to do that for, I don't know, a while now. And finally, this past week, I got a chance to put it all together and, make it work. So we're off to a rocking and rolling start here on a Saturday morning. Welcome to this kickoff of Thanksgiving week Drive Time Radio. We'll get a chance to radio. We call it Drive Time Radio. And I get people that email me and message me every once in a while. What do you call it Drive Time Radio? Well, the show has its roots in radio. The show has, the whole thing is set up in radio. So, and it's really, we still consider it a radio program because I think many more people listen to the program than watch it on the internet. Not always, but it goes maybe 50-50. So I figure, what the heck? We'll keep calling it radio. Besides, I have a love for radio, and radio is dying, and radio needs all the help it can get right now. So, listen, that's why we call it Drive Time Radio. How was your week? You have a good week? You have a good, a week that, well, it was a crazy week, that's for sure. I mean, no matter how you, no matter how you, that's what I was looking for right there. Thank you, kids. I couldn't, I was going crazy trying to figure out why the background was backwards. I noticed it one day this week when I was doing the show with Michael, and I couldn't figure out, why are the backgrounds in my shirt and everything that I'm putting up here, why is it backwards? Anything that's in the view of the camera. and Lord is my witness. I sat down, and as I sat down, it popped into my head and said, you know what? There's that little button in that little place, in that little thing where we go, where it says mirror my camera. And what do you know? There it was, mirror my camera. So now my camera is mirrored. My microphone is in. I ought to check that to make sure that that's working properly too. We never, that's working perfectly too. I get nervous when everything works perfectly. It's like when you buy a car and you drive it off the lot, and whether it's a new car, an old car, or what you know about the car, but as you drive along, you press buttons and try to see if things work, and you want to make sure that they're working perfectly. And sometimes they don't, and you get nervous, or if something doesn't quite work the way you think it should be working, is it me? Am I going to run back to the dealer or the guy that sold me the car, and he's going to look at me like I'm nuts and show me that I press this button and it works perfectly? It had to happen to one of you along the way sometime. All right, got a good show today. No guest. We thought we were going to have a guest, but the guest we don't have. So sometimes that happens. And when we don't have a guest, we just we do what we call tap dance. We tap dance it. Yada papa do pop pop papa do dap 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 do papa dap. Hey, listen, that's what a whole bunch of credits in performing arts will get you. The proper way to do that. Oh, by the way, I do have my Avance shirt on today. I got this at the car show last week, at the Seattle International Auto Show last week. If you went down and you stopped by to say hello when we were down there on Friday and Saturday, or got a chance to, spend a little time listening on the radio and watching on the radio, we had a great time down there. We always have a good time at the Seattle International Auto Show. It's just a lot of fun to get out and meet people, see some of the new stuff that they're aiming towards Seattle, and talk to some of the movers and the shakers in the local auto scene. Avant's being one of them, and we're going to have them on in a week or two to try to help them along. One of the things I did want to remind you about is there are several of these different toy drives going on. And if you go to Facebook and you look at, just punch in toy drives, there are a lot of the Cars and Coffee people and a lot of the different car clubs and so on and so forth. I think Pacific Raceways is having one this weekend that we talked a little bit about last year. But if you can, and you're an auto enthusiast, a car enthusiast, a car club member, grab a unwrapped toy and take it down to one of these places and donate it so that some kid will have a toy this Christmas. It's always such a wonderful thing to see people come out in their either classic cars or their new cars, or just, however, and their wives and their husbands and their boyfriends and their girlfriends and their kids and everything, and donate a little bit of time on a couple of Saturdays before Thanksgiving, and it'll happen, I'm sure, every weekend up until Christmas. To just make sure that kids that don't have anything on Christmas, I was always lucky. I didn't go at Christmas without having anything. I mean, even when times were tough in my family, my old man still, came home with something for the kid. Well, no, Santa Claus still brought something for the kids. I don't want to mess that up. So Santa Claus always good, but Santa needs helpers. Santa always needs helpers, and you can be one of those helpers. Just go to one of these different, and again, you can just jump on Facebook and find some of the matter of fact, I'm doing it right now myself. Find some of the people that that have these different car clubs and different things that that help people out. And make yourself, you get yourself to feel good. That's the one thing I notice is when I always do these types of things, and I always seem that I do I try to help out with these different charities. By the way, the Pacific Raceways thing is going to be on the 7th of December. It's their second annual Bad Santa Car Cruise-In, 11 to 3. It's the Battle of the Elves. We will. I'm going to try to get somebody on from Pacific Raceways to tell us more about this. Last year we had him on. I had a couple of people that went down to it. It was a great event, and so you should, if you get a chance to go down there and check them out at the Bad Santa Cruise Inn, you should. It's what you should be doing this time of year. It is, as I'm sure you know, the biggest holiday travel weekend. I think this is a bigger weekend than Christmas. And with the traveling, because of airfares and stuff, and because of just the general condition, I think there's a lot more people gonna be on the road with their cars. Well, that's a good way to be on the road. I mean, yeah, I guess you could hitchhike or take the bus the way you're going. But if you're taking your car to go to grandma's instead of flying down to Portland or San Francisco or wherever you're going, um, please be aware of a few things. And I hate to harp on this. I hate to remind you about it, but I always hear about from friends of mine that drive tow trucks and things like that. Um, some of the things that happen over these holiday weekends that people just didn't think and didn't prepare in advance. And it's a simple thing. Number one, if you're going over the mountain passes and if you're going out to Eastern Washington, if you're heading down and going to go past the border in the California, Oregon border, going down to California, driving down for some reason, and many people take that drive, make sure that you got chains. Make sure that you got a blanket, a couple of blankets, at least one for everybody in the car, and make sure that you have some food in the car and water. It sounds like I'm preaching to you, but have you ever gotten stuck in, the pass, the Snoqualmie Pass or something? I mean, it's tough if you get stuck there. And sometimes help, they can't always be there. So carry that stuff. Make sure when you see the snow plows coming in, not toys to play with. Stay behind the snow plows. Don't mess with them. Don't drive close to them. Give them lots of room. And if you're one of these guys that love to go past all the traffic in your diesel pickup truck because you love the sound it makes and you can make it rattle everybody else's nerves, take it easy on a holiday weekend. You have people, a holiday week, really. You have people that have their families in the car. You want to be an idiot and kill yourself and go at 80 miles an hour over slush and ice and, that's fine. Knock yourself out. But don't take anybody with you. Be a little considerate if you have people in the car. Be a little considerate if you have your family in the car. There's other people on the road. And it's a simple thing. If you get stuck, try to get your car as far over to the right shoulder as you can. Don't keep your family in the car. Get them out of the car, especially if it is in the lane of traffic. Put flashes on. Try to carry flares if you can, or some kind of warning device, so that people can see you coming, especially on dark roads, especially on Route 2. If you're going over Route 2, let's say you're going to Wenatchee or you're going to, Soap Lake or something like that. I don't know how many people go over to Soap Lake, but it's one of the towns I could think of on Route 2. Make sure that you have the equipment in your car so that if you get stuck, if something goes wrong with your car, that you have the ability to let other people know. Make sure your phone is charged. Always keep your phone charging. And it wouldn't be a bad idea in this type of environment to carry one of those extra batteries that you can plug your phone into. Well worth it. Whatever you spend for it. They're on Amazon. It's Black Friday on Amazon. They started early this year. Lots of good stuff on there for car people. But the most important thing are those things that attach to your cell phone and give you extra battery power. They can come in immeasurably handy on a cold weekend when you are stuck somewhere. All right? And again, I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just trying to remind you of things that are important, that can save your life. That's the thing. It can save your life. And listen, I don't have a whole lot of listeners. So, although we really spiked for the auto show last week, but I need all the listeners. I want to keep all the listeners I got. So I don't want to lose any over the holiday weekend. So please, by all means, make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do to stay alive out there on a treacherous weekend for cars. AAA and everybody. I'm not going to give you the numbers. Usually I do the whole thing about the worst highways in America. We all know that the I-5 is a bad highway. It's a highway that no matter how much they try to improve it, going through I-5 in Seattle and in Everett are bad places. As far as trying to maneuver around traffic and road construction, potholes, and everything. So please use caution. Everybody's going to be there if it takes you 10 more minutes to get there. Obey the speed limits. The cops are going to be out looking for people. And most of all, please don't drink and drive. I can't emphasize that enough to you, my friends. Don't drink and drive. If you're going to if you're going to drink and you got to get somewhere, call Uber, call Lyft, call a friend, call somebody to drive you. Not just for the cost of the DUI, but for the life that you might save. You might save somebody else's life. You might even save your own life. And that's that's pretty well worth it. All right, coming up, we will recap the LA Auto Show that is going on now. And try to get the auto show. Try to get that up. Jeez, what's going on here today? Come on, Vincent. All right, we always try to make it work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Anyway, our show is brought to you by my good friend George Jackson. He is, I don't know why this isn't all of a sudden. Let's try this. There we go. George Jackson Promotions. My good friend George. It's the time of year where you buy tchotchkes, you buy things to give to people as a thank you gift for the holidays. And George is the man to see about anything you need, from T-shirts to stickers to pens to notebooks to whatever kind of promotional items that you need. George has got them for you. George can get them for you at a dynamite price. He supports this show. And whether you need thank you gifts, whether you need T-shirts for your family gathering, whatever you need, George can take care of you. www.gjpromo.com is the way to get to George and ask him any questions. Tell him I sent you. As I always say, he's on time, he's on schedule, he's on price, and he has personal service. And in this world today, where you and I both know that the toughest thing in the world to get is service, it is impossible to get good service. I mean, you type into a computer and, you send it off to some place. You don't know if they're going to get it right or not. If you type it up and type make an order and send it to George, if there's something wrong, George is going to pick up the phone and call you. He's not going to, it's not going to go through 10,000 channels and everything like that. And some AI, maybe he calls you, maybe it doesn't. Believe you me, George is not AI. George is a solid business guy. And as I said, he believes in service. He believes in getting the order right. He believes in quality products, not cheap crap. And he believes that that serving customers is why he's in business for, I don't know, a gazillion years. All the time I've been dealing with George, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him or anything where you'd say, oh, gee, well, George is, he promised me this, and he called me up and said, well, I can't get you this, but I can get you that, but it's going to be more money. No. That just doesn't happen with George. So give him a call, give him a holler, send him an email. If you need advertising specialties for your business, your team, or your event, or your organization, call George first. Let him jump in on the business and see if my words to you aren't true. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the LA Auto Show. It's it's the final show of the year. The LA Auto Show really brings it all together. Some of the good stuff from over the past year, a few new things, and it is a show where people just, they get together and say Merry Christmas to each other. And there was some really interesting looking vehicles at this particular LA Auto Show. Now, of course, I didn't get a chance, as I told, to go. I will go next year. I think we're gonna really have kind of a bit more of a budget, I hope, for me to go to a couple of these shows and bring you the information live. Well, one of the big hits at the auto show that Jeep showed off is the 2026 Jeep Recon. Now, this is a kind of a Cherokee, I guess it is, but it's a Cherokee that they've developed a system where all the doors come off, the rear window comes out, and it's about as open air as you can get in a closed top vehicle. I think the sunroof comes out or opens up, and it gives you that feeling of almost that feeling that they're trying to get with the Renegade or with the the original Jeep, with the doors open, with the open air feeling. So if you're going out to Moab, you're going off-road, you're going to these different places, you get a chance to feel the same thing that people in those little CJ, I still call it a CJ5. But the people in the little small fun Jeeps get to experience with all of and with comfort. Sometimes the little Jeep can be a little small, a little tight, especially if you're an older person. This one comes with all the amenities inside, the leather and the this and the that, and some more space for luggage and stuff. And it still gives you the all-wheel drive, the four-wheel drive. They are, I believe, trail rated, 650 horsepower, dual motor, 650 horsepower, 620 pound-feet of torque. It's not Jeep's first EV, but this is the one that they are, I think, betting a ranch on, that a lot of people are going to take a look at and a lot of people are going to buy. It has the ability to charge at different charging stations. It can really, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. About 250 miles on a charge. It'll charge at any station. I think Jeep's got a winner here for people that want to, that want something more than just that little Jeep. So I think they're doing good. Kia hit the stands with the Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. That thing is going to be new for 2027. Standard Telluride now with a 2.5 liter four-cylinder, give you 274 horsepower. 49 pound-feet more of torque than the outgoing 2025 V6. And for the first time ever, the Kia Telluride will be a hybrid. Turbocharged four-cylinder engine with electric motors, give you 329 horsepower, 339 pound-feet of torque. And give you 35 miles per gallon, which for a big SUV like this is nirvana. It should leave you in the car meditating. It's so good. Non-hybrid Telluride will have a 5,000 pound tow rating. The hybrid drops down to 4,500. So that's another vehicle that made its debut. Hyundai had trotted out a Crater concept. I just got out of the XRT Ioniq 5, and I got to tell you, man, we're going to do a review on it later in the show. But, man, you talk about a vehicle that has some off-road chops. Now, I don't know that I want to call it a an off-roader on the level of the the Z Chevys or the Raptors or things like that, or the Dodge Rams. I'm not going to go into that area with it, or the Jeeps. But what I am going to say is that for I almost call it a rough terrain vehicle. So I'm not going to go storming mountains with this vehicle. But if I'm going to go up fire roads, I'm going to, maybe look at fording a brook or two. Maybe I'm going to take a chance on, getting up into the woods a little bit. I'm going to go off the road with it. I don't know how far I'm going to go off the road. I'm definitely going to be checking. But I'm going to become more adventurous. And I think that's the thing with these vehicles, is they're trying to get you to become more adventurous. They're trying to get you out of your Brooks Brothers and get you into LL Bean or REI. And they're building cars that will make you feel confident in doing that without you having a car that's lifted 20 inches off the ground. And Hyundai with the Hyundai Ioniq 5 XRT and this Crater concept does that. I don't know if this will become real or not. Flat sides, 33-inch all-terrain tires, high ground clearance, square surfaces, soft touch materials, flattened steering wheel, top and bottom. It's these are vehicles that are built with a design in mind to get you off the road, get you out to explore the road less taken, off the beaten path. You want to get off the beaten path, and these cars that Subaru with their series, most automakers now are doing it. They're coming up with vehicles that are equipped to take you off the asphalt, and I think it's good. I think you need to get off road. Nissan showed off their 2026 Nissan Rogue PHEV. Now, I don't know. This is a Mitsubishi Outlander. It's mostly last year's Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. A couple of different things in it. The platforms of the cars are the same. It's a collaboration. Mitsubishi owns a certain percent of Nissan, or maybe it's the other way around. But anyway, so this is a result of the collaboration. Look, Nissan's in trouble. They need some help. They need to get some people into some different vehicles. This gives Nissan something that they hadn't had in their showrooms. It gives Nissan an entryway into people who may not normally have gone into a Nissan a showroom because they didn't have a plug-in hybrid to look at. Plug-in hybrids are getting popular. While EVs are struggling a little bit, hybrid vehicles have caught the public's imagination because there's the safety factor of, I know that I'm going to get home because I got gasoline in this thing. I can go out and I can get 40 miles. I can do my daily shopping and my daily running around on an electric motor. But when it comes to, taking a trip across country or going up to the top of a mountain or going up to a favorite cabin that's off the beaten path, this thing is going to have the ability to do that and plug in and charge again and do it again on electric, but with gasoline also. I think this one comes up with about 38 miles of electric range. And again, it's, big screens, a little third row. It's part of Nissan trying to figure out a way without a lot of money to get back into the market, to become somebody that's in the conversation when you're thinking about a car. They haven't been there for a long time. And with this and the new Sentra, they're starting to make a comeback. And listen, I wish them a lot of luck. All right, the Lucid people, that especially myself and John Vincent, we love Lucid. We love the car. I think it's one of the best. I'll buy a Lucid before I buy a Tesla. I'd buy a Lucid before I'd buy a number of different cars. This Gravity Touring is their first SUV. And the Gravity Touring is a great performer. This one drops a little in price. The Grand Touring, which they introduced earlier in the year, is $95,000. This Gravity Touring is going to be $79,000, $80,000. About where the BMW, comparable BMW, or a Vistique from Cadillac is going to be. The Touring gets an 89 kilowatt hour battery pack. Smaller, 337 miles of range, 560 horsepower, and it has fast, quick charging architecture. And as I have said, to me, the Lucid is, if you are looking for an electric vehicle, an upper end electric vehicle, and you're not shopping Lucid, you're cheating yourself. Mustang put out a Mach-E California special. They always do that with Mustangs. It's the electric crossover. It's black and blue accents, 20-inch wheels, GTCS badging, a hood graphic, and a rave blue illuminated pony logo in the grill. So they think that that'll have California people running to buy them. The Sony and Honda vehicle has been shown off, the Afeela 1. Who the hell decided to name a car Afeela? I don't know. Anyway, Sony and Honda figured that this is going to be something that people are going to love. Hyundai also hit the floor with an Ioniq 6N, and we've talked endlessly about the Hyundai and the Ioniq and the N badging of this car, which is the performance. It's like an AMG from Mercedes, or the M from BMW, or the SS from Chevy. It's a performance group of equipment that's put onto these cars, integrated into these cars. And the N gets a pair of electric motors that give it 641 horsepower, 3.2 seconds from 0 to 60 with the launch control system, drift optimizer, torque distribution, and N grin boost. So, and there's a special soundtrack in this one, has an artificial noise-making system. So you can get that going on sale in 2026. Genesis hit the floor with a GV60 Magma. That's their performance sub-brand. And that is now out on the floor. Bright orange, due early next year. This will be something worth watching. Genesis, I love the Genesis. Really love the Genesis. And can't wait to drive one of their performance vehicles. This is one that this next car does my heart good. The Scout has been reincarnated by the people at Volkswagen. No new news at the auto show, but they had a vehicle out there. Their latest prototypes are on the floor, and they just look good. The first time that the brand Scout, which used to be an International Harvester, has been on the show floor in 45 years. the Terra. It's a full-size electric pickup. And the Traveler, which will begin SUV. And they're going to be around $60,000 to start. And if you're in that market for that kind of a vehicle, I suggest you go looking at them. There's a lot of neat vehicles that are on the way. And they're all over the internet. And to be honest with you, I'd rather you take a look at this kind of stuff than some of the crap that AI is putting out on YouTube. I mean, some of it is just horrendous. It's horrible. And really, I hope that at some point YouTube takes a little bit of control over the people that are putting stuff on their streaming service. It's horrible. Some of the things that are going on as far as YouTube and some of the stuff that they're allowing to be put up there, not just in cars, just across the board. I'm a fan of the RV Miles people. If you're an RV fan, you should be checking them out. They do a great job at keeping you informed as to what's going on with RVs. And although I don't own an RV, I anticipate myself renting one in the near future and going on a road trip. I would like to take a cross-country trip in an RV and just be able to, go to different places and stop and spend time and look and move at my own pleasure, my own whim. And I just think that they do a great job. And they were on talking about, the RV business and how all of these different AI-generated, 20-minute tapes or 20-minute videos that take content from other people are flooding the internet. And I'll echo their words. When you see a story and the voice doesn't sound right, or this doesn't sound right, or that doesn't sound right, check trusted sources. When you see a story about a revolutionary pickup truck that nobody else knows about but that website, check the source. Make sure it's real. There's just, with AI, it's really getting horrible. There are people trying to scam you. There are people that are trying to tell you lies. There are people trying to make you believe things that aren't true. There are people that want you to think a certain way. People want you to act a certain way. And they're trying to, it is one huge manipulative tool. And unfortunately, folks, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, we as consumers of media, we as people who watch media, especially older people and younger people too, but people that are more vulnerable to falsehoods are going to have to watch their step because, these people will take you for every dime that you have. And these people will take you for every idea that you have because they want something from you. They want your vote, or they want your confidence, or they want your money, or they want something that you have. And they have discovered that AI, for everybody that wants to tout how good it is, AI is a way to talk you out of that. It's smarter, slicker, stronger than most people. So please, if you're looking at something on YouTube, you're looking at something on Facebook, check it out. Don't take anything you see unless it's from a trusted media source. And even then, make sure that the source, the person is putting up that post or that video is actually who they say they are. I mean, I've seen posts that have been put up with Anderson Cooper's face on it to make you think it's from CNN, or Nora O'Donnell's face on it to make you think that it's from CBS News. And it's shameful. And these internet companies aren't going to do anything about it because they're getting clicks. And people are making large money off of it. So I'm not going to tell you not to get on the internet. And I'm not going to tell you that the internet is ruining the country. But it is making people believe things. And it's making people believe things that absolutely isn't true. And it's turning people's minds to mush. And you got to be smarter than them. And the smartest thing you can do is to check out the things that you see. Don't take anything at face value. Don't take what I tell you at face value. Although I know you can trust me, but I don't know. Maybe they created an AI me, huh? And all of a sudden you see me on there, talking about something. It's pretty amazing, but it's you got to watch yourselves, and I really hope that you do, especially in this frenzy of Black Friday and extending these days out from one day to now a week long and everything that's going on. Again, I don't mean to preach to you. I'm not a preacher, but what I do want to do is I want you to be aware. I don't want you, as one of my listeners, to get taken for your money, to believe something that's not true, to hate somebody because you think they said something when they didn't say anything at all, and to just be, I'm all about love, peace, and driving your car down the road with the music going. So that's one of the things that I always think about. Love, peace, and driving down the road with your car radio going. Oh man, what a life, huh? What a life that we lead. All right, let's take a look at something else here. I did the okay. Just wanted to make sure that I did the yes. Okay, told you about that. I thought that was great about the people that are doing all of these different events to collect toys. Really a good time of year to extend your hand out and help people out a little bit. You can always get a you can always get a good feeling doing that. I haven't run into a drug or anything that's given me as good a feeling as I get when you help people out and you're able to put a smile on people's faces. That's always a really good thing to me. Mm-hmm. By the way, I always, if you look at and we're going to do a piece on this in December, but if you're starting to think about presents for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you observe, if you're starting to think about presents for the holidays, one of the places I always go to look at presents, to look for presents, is the publication Auto Week. It always has some interesting stuff and some offbeat news that just doesn't get copied from somewhere else, but it gives you some perspective and some different lists and things like that you don't see everywhere else. And if you want to be in the know about the car business and about what's going on, racing and everything, Auto Week is a place that I always look at, and I just like to advise you of um, different publications and things like that I look at, because this show is nothing but an aggregation of a lot of different sources of news and so on and so forth. I keep my eyes on all of this news so you don't have to. And I pick out some good stories for you and try to give them to you. The reviews are my own. I write those myself, but everything else is kind of a pick and pull of different news items or events that I've attended. And, then I bring them to you. So you don't have to spend hours on the internet. We don't want you to have to do that. All right, let's take a look at Vinnie. What are you driving this week? Because I'll tell you what, man, I hit the jackpot this week. This week I am driving the 2025 Audi e-tron, and man, I have to tell you that. Oh, see, that's the problem here. We're in a different place, unfortunately. I don't know how this wound up happening, but we're going to put that in. There we go. Okay, I knew it was somewhere in there. It's just, I need a producer for this show. Anyway, this week on Vinnie, what are you driving this week? I am driving the 2026 Audi A6 e-tron. Wow. I just, every time I get into an Audi, I'm not getting into a car. I'm getting into a work of art. These cars, besides being beautiful, besides being absolutely show-stopping, when I take it and I pull up down by, I call it my office, down there on Sunset in Edmonds, where I park and, kind of hang out and spend some time. People always stop when I have an Audi and look at them and try to figure out, what am I driving? How did I get so lucky to drive this car? It's like something that they haven't seen before. And, I actually, people will come up to me, and I'll let them sit in it, and I'll let them experience and let them take a look at it. And they are so impressed with everything on this car, from the seats clear on through to the to the trunk and all the space in the car, the wheels, the tires, engines on gasoline vehicles. They're solid vehicles. And this week on Thursday, I took delivery of the 2025 Audi A6 e-tron. E-tron is their electric. I got the dual motor quattro prestige version. This one is a sharp looking vehicle, plenty of space, plenty of what you need as far as interior and screens and all of the creature comforts that you could possibly want in a vehicle. They're here. The lines of the car are beautiful. They work perfectly. The getting in, getting out is comfortable. The appliques on the car are placed perfectly. Tail lights, headlights are all visible from a million miles. I think you can see this car from space, but yet so tastefully done. Trunk space is good. Rear seat legroom could be a little bit better, but it's still good by standards of other cars in the class. It is it looks to be a very sharp car. What I like about this car is it's got an air spring suspension. It has different unique driving modes. You can drive this car along the highway and drop it down to be as low and hugging the highway as you can move it up to take advantage of its 456 horsepower. And while it doesn't ride, it doesn't handle like a sports car, it handles like a luxury sedan. And, one thing you have to realize is that there are some cars that are luxury sedans. They're not sports cars. Their manufacturer may make sports cars, but they don't bake as much sports car into this because you don't want that rough ride when you're buying a car like this. The A6 e-tron got up to 60 miles per hour in about 5 seconds. Maybe a little less than that. This particular one has a package that'll give you about 333 miles with the all-wheel drive. And you can charge the battery in this thing from 10% to 80%. I did it the other day in just about 20 minutes. And it's just a really quick study on charging. Get in there, charge it up, get out. And if you're a tech person, if you're somebody that enjoys all of the tech in a vehicle, and sometimes I get frustrated with it, but it appears that this vehicle has like a ton of stuff. I mean, I spent 2 hours yesterday just playing with all of the stuff. That's got a third screen on the dashboard that sits directly in front of the passenger so that the passenger can take a look at what's going on as well. Not everything, but the stuff that a passenger wants to know. One of the really cool things, and I showed Michael this yesterday on the show, I thought one of the coolest things in this car is right under the windshield, they have a line of LED lights, right? And from about a quarter away on the left and a quarter away on the right, when you put the turn signal on, it lights up and flashes. So the turn signal isn't just blinking on the dashboard of the car, but it's blinking in the line of sight. And it's blinking long. It's not loud. There's no sound attached to it, but it's showing you that the hazard lights or the directional signals are on. It is. I think that it really is something that in this day and age, when you're on the phone, when you're doing this, you're doing that in the car. Let's face it, I can tell you all night and all day, pay attention to what you're doing. But you and I all know that we're not paying attention all the time when we're driving. And any little aid that you can get like this that'll tell you that directional signal is still on is, I think, cool. And Audi brings it with this. And they bring it in a very stylized way. I also love it. And, again, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I was in the car for a half hour last night just playing with the lights and the different scenarios that you can set the interior lights for. And I've found out that over the past year, I've really become an interior lights and massage guy. I want massaging seats, heated seats, nice interior lights. If I'm going to sit out in a car and wait for somebody in front of a building or something like that, I want to be nicely treated. And I think that Audi, this particular Audi, does that nicely. Infotainment, as I said, you have the digital screen right in front of you. That's 11.9 inches. You got a 14.5-inch touchscreen in the middle and a little 10-inch, or actually almost 11-inch front passenger display. And on top of it, literally, you have a heads-up display that, again, runs, all together or whichever ones you need to run. It really gives you as much information as you can handle about the particular car. And people that drive these cars, that drive an Audi, they want a car. They want the information about this car. Great driver assistance features so far that we have seen: adaptive cruise control, lane centering features, crash test is highly rated, automated emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warnings, and adaptive cruise control with the lane centering feature as well. Limited warranty on the Q6 is a 4-year or 50,000 mile powertrain warranty, 4 years or 50 electric components, 8 years or 100,000, and you don't get any complimentary scheduled maintenance with it for free. But hey, you know what? It's worth it. It's this particular car goes for, I believe, 79,000 in that neighborhood. And wait, I'll pull up the exact price. Well, close to the exact price here in a second. Well, the Prestige is 73,495, and this one has some options on it. So yeah, you get into the neighborhood of about 76 to 79,000 by the time it's all said and done. And again, I'm a big Audi fan, so I'm looking forward to this week in this car. I'm looking forward to bringing home the turkey in this particular car. So again, that is what I'm driving this week. I'll have a more comprehensive Yo Vinnie up on our social media channels a little later today, and we'll have a full review of the car in an upcoming week. But that's Yo Vinnie. What are you driving this week for this week? Ron, you get about our good friend George Jackson, who sponsors this program. We thank George for taking the time to keep us on the air and keep us going. He does sales specialties, promotional items. If you need cups with your name on them, if you need sauces with your name on them, if you need matching cups and sauces with your name on them, if you're getting married, if you're getting anything that requires any of these different kinds of gifts for people, business gifts, promotional gifts, T-shirts, all of that kind of stuff, GJ Promo is where you should punch in on the website, on the internet. GJ Promo. He's a fair guy, deals with you straight up. He's a human being, so you talk to a human being, not some AI or some computer or something like that. You'll know where George is if you need him. You'll not be dealing with a company that you don't know anything about. He's the real deal. He's a good friend and a guy that deserves your business if you are in the market or know somebody who is in the market for that type of vehicle of stuff. So I appreciate you and appreciate George's contribution and his ability to keep this show on the air and going. All right, we'll wrap it up. I want to jump into this one because this is one that I know that you're going to love. I talked about this car a lot over the past 2 weeks, and I talk about it because
this week on
it
Yo
is
XRT, the
just
terrain
a sharp
vehicle.
car.
We'll sort out the alphabet soup.
And I'm going to shut that guy up because he talks too much. But this is, as we have spoken about, the Audi. No, that was just the Audi. This is the Ioniq 5, the Hyundai that I think is one of the sharpest vehicles out there, electric vehicles that you can drive. This is an all-electric vehicle show, it looks like. But this particular car was an absolute joy to spend a weekend, whether I was on the road, off the road, hauling stuff around. This is truly a remarkable, small little electric SUV. It is spacious. It is roomy. It performs well off the road. It performs even better on the road. It holds a charge and gives you a nice range in this car that you're not worrying every 5 minutes that you got to find an electric charger. You're not worrying every 5 minutes that you're going to damage something. This thing has been put together with some oomph to it. With great ground clearance, with great tires, with great wheels that you're not worried about banging them up all the time. The Hyundai people got together, and when they put these initials XRT on one of their cars, it really should be GTFOR, get the frig off the road with this thing. And I don't mean off the road, I mean off the road like over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. From the moment you get in this car, the cleanliness of the interior, the way it's laid out and set up is just phenomenal. You got your cup holders, and you have a console in the middle that you can move back and forth. You have cup holders, obviously. You have your phone charger put right in the middle there, as you can see. That's really, if you have to keep your phone next to you, and you're one of those people that don't like to have that arm sticking out of your windshield with the phone on it, this is almost the next best thing. The phone charger is quick, and you have plenty of different plugs to put your cord in, so that you can charge not only your phone but other phones that are there. The connection to your YouTube is seamless, no problems whatsoever. As you can see, the dashboard is clean, it's well done. It's just something, not a lot of excess switches and everything. You have switches that do the job. It's an attractive car as far as, a boxy-like SUV kind of hatchback. Gives you a lot of room. When you fold that back seat down, you have a ton of room, almost best-in-class room, I believe, in this vehicle. You can put a lot of stuff back there when you're, just, just you and somebody else, or just you going up to the mountains. You have ability to put skis back there. You have enough room to put camping equipment, a lot of different stuff. For 2025, they've improved the vehicle, this Hyundai Ioniq 5. It always makes many of the car magazines' best lists of vehicles that are in this class. For the money, I think it's just right around $50,000. I think it gives you a lot of value to it. You have the 5N, which was at the auto show last week, gives you 641 horsepower. This one doesn't have that, but this one has 320 horsepower with a dual motor powertrain, and it gets up and it goes. But it also has it's a torquey little thing, no. But yet the Hyundai people have made sure that it charges quick. It doesn't fool around. Boom, boom. You're in, you're out. A lot of tech in this vehicle as well. What this, I always judge cars on, do they do what they were designed to do? Whether it's powered by gas, whether it's powered by hydrogen, whether it's powered by electric, does the car do what it's meant to do? And the Hyundai Ioniq 5 XRT does exactly what it was built to do. You can almost feel the engineers when you're driving this thing saying, oh, they thought about this, and oh, they thought about that, and oh, they made this so it's fitted right, and they made this so it's fitted right. I mean, they really do an unbelievable job of delivering what the car is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a car that, again, it's not a car that you are going to get into and go over high rocks in a mountain like a Jeep or a uh, you know, uh, one of the heavier duty Fords or Chevys. Those are rock climbers. You're not going to get that in this car. But what you are going to get is a capable vehicle to go on your weekend camping trip. You're going to get a capable vehicle to pull off-road. I think it's got, I forget, I think it's got 4,500 pounds of pulling power. You're going to get a vehicle that is strong in all the boxes that you need to check off to have an activity vehicle, a vehicle that will let you confidently go and enjoy the lifestyle that you want to enjoy, which is an active lifestyle. Now, I know this is coming from an older guy, and maybe I'm not as an active lifestyle guy as you are, but 25 years ago, I would have loved to have a vehicle like this. I would have loved to have a vehicle that didn't pollute the air as much as some of the vehicles I drove up to the tops of mountains, with a decent driving range, with a vehicle that has all of the safety equipment that you could possibly think of. The battery packs have been improved. By the way, this has the NACS charging port, which means that you can pull up to a Tesla charger, slip it in, and in a matter of mere moments, you're on the way again. And I like the higher ride height all-terrain tires, the interesting bumpers on this vehicle that have that, I don't know what you call a pattern. But it's an interesting pattern that it adopts. See that I don't know what you call that, but that is an interesting pattern, and it's here. It's in parts of the interior, and I don't know. Maybe it signifies that you're in the computer age. I don't know, but I do know that that it's the little touches like that that make this vehicle. Give you in this vehicle a lot of confidence that this vehicle is going to do okay if you're going off-road. You get a rear windshield wiper, of course, which is nothing these days. But they didn't have them on previous XRTs. So it's good that they finally stuck it on. They get a larger rear spoiler this year, and which helps out, believe you me, in the rain and the snow. It really does help out. And again, I really like where they relocated the wireless charging pad. It gives you an ability to glance quickly down at your phone or to just feel for it, find it. Instead of it being buried in the console, you can reach down, find this thing, you know where it is right away, or get to look at it at a quick glance. And also the life-saving features in this car are spectacular. They really are something to get on board about. And Hyundai has been one of the leaders in safety, and they don't mess it up on this one. They the safety equipment, all of the different equipment that you can think of, lane keeping assistance, side impact collision avoidance features. They're all in here. And, it just has everything you need. So I loved my week in the XRT. It really, it really presented a vehicle that I think fools a lot of people, because you don't at first glance think that this is going to be an off-the-road vehicle. And again, I will not say to you that if you are in the market for a rock climber, that you should go out and buy this vehicle. But if you're somebody who sticks to two kids in the car on a weekend and takes them up to Snoqualmie Pass or to Route 2, and you say, come on, let's go up and see what's at the falls. Let's go up and see what's this or where that is. and you have to go off the road a little bit to get there, or if you're one of the people that you're like me, you sneak away for an overnight camping experience down to Ocean Shores, maybe to pull up next to the ocean and grab 40 winks. This is a vehicle that you're going to love. Throw a couple of blankets in it, an air mattress, get the kids, and do some good family stuff. I made a mistake before when I said the price of the vehicle. This one, as equipped, was $57,100. 57,100. So my bad. I'm sorry about that. But again, it's just going to be a vehicle that you are going to, I think, enjoy the ride, enjoy the power, enjoy what the vehicle does, the suspension in it, and the enjoyment of having one of these vehicles. It's I've seen a few of them. I don't see a lot of them out on the road, but I've seen a few of them, and I really think that they that Hyundai once again with an electric vehicle hit the nail on the head with this thing. If there's anything wrong with it, you'd have to show me, because I just think that they have done just about everything they could do to make this a vehicle that is going to give you maximum pleasure with a minimum amount of worry from Hyundai. So that's it. And that is going to wrap it up for another edition of Drive Time. We thank you all for listening to the show. Thank you so much for your continued participation in the show. And by the way, that where we were looking at the Ioniq 5 XRT, that's a place called a shop and a restaurant called the Derby that's down south of Market. We're gonna have to check that place out sometime. Friend of mine has told me nothing but good things about it. It's a car geek's paradise, is what he told me. He says, I can't believe you hadn't been there yet. So we're gonna run down to that place, to the shop, and check it out at some point. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We always appreciate spending the time with you. Have a great Thanksgiving. I know it's hard sometimes. I know sometimes I look at things and I go, what the heck am I doing? Why am I, why am I bothering? Why don't I just stay in bed, pull the covers over my head, and not listen to anything? But then I think about 9 years ago today, when I was rushed to a hospital and went into a coma for 3 months, and how I just thought after that every day was precious, that there were no days to be wasted, that people cared enough about other people to work as hard as they could to help them live a life, to go through rehab, to go through the people that people of all different nationalities, Muslim, Catholic, Jewish, all working together, Protestant, atheist, all different kind of people. We're all working together toward a common goal of getting me and other patients up out of bed after we've had serious injuries and getting them to walk again, getting them to have a quality of life. Nobody asked me if I was a Muslim. Nobody asked me if I was a Jew. Nobody asked me if I was Italian. Nobody asked me anything. They just asked me to put my faith in them, and they would help me walk again. And that's the beauty of America. And so the people that want to say that this country is down the tubes and it's done, not so fast. Not so fast. There's a lot of hope for people if you have faith. And it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of charity in there too. But if you have some faith and you have some hope, you can accomplish great things. 9 years ago tonight, they had given me up for dead. They had literally said, we're not going to resuscitate him. And if not for the grace of God, and if not for the grace of my sister being there to insist that they resuscitate me, even though they thought that I didn't want to be resuscitated, I wouldn't be here with the show today. And, some of you might say, well, that's good. I'd be doing something else. I wouldn't have to listen to this crap. This isn't crap. Every day that you see me on your computer or on your radio or however you get this show is a miracle. And no matter who is running this country and no matter who is trying to put us in the ground, this country, these people, this lifestyle is a miracle. And the people that fight to keep it going are miracles. And yeah, there are some people who aren't going to agree with that. And there are some people who want to see it done their way and their way only. Well, you know what? Well, they'll be gone. And we or our kids or our ideas will ever last, because this is the greatest idea, America, that any human being has ever had. That people get along together from all different places, all different countries, that they get along together and they work toward a common goal, freedom. And I don't mean to be on my soapbox about it politically, but I just want to say that I thank you for listening to the show. I thank God for every day that I get to put my feet on the ground in this earth, and for just a multitude of things that I'm blessed with. So as you sit around a table, wherever your table may be, whatever your table may be, as you sit around your table on Thursday and you look around and you think how lucky you are, because you have this blessing of being an American or being here or visiting here or somehow being connected to this country, that you have just the greatest luck in the world. And don't forget that this holiday season. Try being kind instead of mean. Try letting the guy go in front of you with his car instead of inching up so he can't get into the lane of traffic. Try waving at somebody that's walking on the street that you don't know. And try cutting people some slack. It's a crazy time of year, but it's a great time of year. And it's a time of year that I'm thankful for every year. How could you not be thankful for Thanksgiving? I mean, it says it right in the name of the holiday. I mean, I don't get Christ-like for Christmas. I don't go east for Easter, but I sure give thanks on Thanksgiving. All right. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I'll catch up with you next Saturday morning at 11 o'clock if the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.